The Diocese of Buffalo could have a massive resource to tap into to cover an estimated tens of millions of dollars in child sex abuse settlements. It's a story we broke and first reported during Channel 2 News Midday. A so-called global settlement that could cover the price tag for child sex abuse lawsuits against the Catholic Church. And records obtained by Two on Your Side Investigates reveal that a major settlement is on the table. Good evening, everyone. I'm Mary Alice Demler. Scott is off this week. Now, the settlement could help the Diocese of Buffalo as it works to emerge from bankruptcy in the face of dozens of lawsuits. We have team coverage of this developing story. Investigative reporter Charlie Specht has reaction, but we begin our coverage with Two on Your Side Sean Mickey. So Sean, what could this all mean for victims?
Mary Alice, documents filed in court and obtained by Two on Your Side make clear that the proceeds from the $3.75 billion sale of Fidelis Care are on the table. 6 Catholic dioceses in New York filed for bankruptcy while facing thousands of lawsuits from people who say they were sexually abused by clergy as children. The bishops of New York used proceeds from the 2018 sale of Fidelis Care to create the Mother Cabrini Fund, a nonprofit with a stated mission of providing care to low-income and vulnerable populations. Attorneys for survivors have alleged the transfer into an independent foundation was part of a playbook to shield assets from impending legal and financial exposure. But now, documents filed in federal bankruptcy court show the use of the fund has been discussed in mediated settlement negotiations, and diocesan attorneys have privately discussed its use since at least May. Now, I did reach out to the diocese and they say they are not seeking to use the fund. Investigative reporter Charlie Specht will take over our coverage now with reaction from survivors. Charlie?
Sean, today I spoke with 2 abuse survivors, one who was one of the earliest to come forward 30 years ago and another who is speaking on TV for the first time tonight. They say they're hopeful a settlement could be in the works, but they're cautious as they say the diocese has let them down so many times before.
You can set it aside while you're doing your job. You can set it aside while you're going to school, while you're taking care of your children.
But the pain of the abuse that Barbara Knight suffered at the hands of Father John Doyle when she was in 6th grade is always there, made worse by a Diocese of Buffalo bankruptcy process that's been painfully slow.
My faith, my friendships, my husband, they've all helped me through.
She says the prospect of a multi-billion-dollar settlement with Catholic abuse victims across New York State would help her move forward.
So if we could at least get closure about this, so this isn't hanging over us, I think that would be a huge relief, and it would bring a certain amount of peace.
These are the voices that are left to call out for justice.
Rick Brownell was abused by Father John Aurelio in 1968. The Survivors Committee, which he is a member of, has accused the diocese in court of gamesmanship in how it negotiates.
Well, it's extremely frustrating because we're up against a brick wall. There's no real progress from the diocese standpoint. They, in fact, go out of their way to prolong this for whatever reason we can't understand.
6 years after then-Bishop Richard Malone was implicated in abuse cover-ups, it continues to weigh on victims like Brownell.
It's a constant burden to myself and all the committee members and their families. It's a huge obstacle to bringing peace to us personally.
Both survivors hope Cardinal Timothy Dolan of New York City will give the okay to tap into the $3.7 billion fund to help settle the 6 Catholic bankruptcies across the state.
It isn't about the money, it's about the accountability and the actions that they took. How else do you hold people responsible for ruining people's lives?
I think if we're going to move on, if we're going to have peace, we need to have accountability. If we can't have accountability, then we need closure. And this would be a huge way for us to realize closure. And I'm not talking the money. I'm talking just having it over with.
Now, we did reach out to Cardinal Timothy Dolan. He's declining to comment at this time, but the Diocese of Buffalo says they are not looking into the use of these funds. Live in the studio on your side, Charlie Specht, Channel 2 News.
Charlie, thank you. And stay with Two on Your Side for continuing coverage of the Buffalo Diocese sex abuse settlement cases. You can also read and watch our past stories on our website, WGRZ.com.